It's gonna sound crazy to people, but like I've been shot at.
Yeah.
And like I was more nervous in the boat, like that I was gonna get eliminated and go back home than when I was getting shot at, which is crazy. How crazy is that?
Hey, it's Tronda with Tronda Talks, Grow to Inspire. All things queer related. I got robbed. The blue-eyed Puerto Ricans.
Let's go, baby.
I got him over here, got my husband's brother from another mother.
That's right.
My comrade.
That's right.
Yeah, he talk real good shit with me. You know what I'm saying? Real good. My homie.
That's right.
Right.
Yes.
Your butt got out of Omar.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Talk about the loss?
Yeah.
I have to live that again.
Yes, you do.
So it's funny because it's tough because like I was, oh man.
Yeah.
So Marbles was the game that I was most confident in.
Yes.
Because like I knew other games had either team strategy or maybe a little bit of luck. Like Marbles was me versus another person.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm not losing anyone. I didn't practice marbles, anything, because I'm like, you put me up against anyone one-on-one, and I'm a dog them.
I know you just, I know this.
Yeah, so I was like, and then when I was going to like the whole game of it.
Dude, this is why I put the disappointment in the very beginning, because I want them to get their disappointments out
Oh,
of the way.
yeah.
Talking about them how beautiful they are as people.
Yeah, it will fire me up too, because so there's two parts of marbles.
Yeah.
One, like my number one, like kind of like female in there was Melissa, played 361. And basically they were like the whole show kind of getting us as almost like a romantic couple.
Yeah.
Like they wanted like the showmans.
Yeah.
She's got a girlfriend, so like we knew it, but we were kind of like playing it up a little bit, you know? So they were making us have all these controlled conversations. Talk about family life, talk about, you know, her losses, your losses, how much the money means. They were building us up. Mm-hmm. And then right when they announced the picnic, to pick your partner, we looked right at each other and we were like, this is marbles. Like, don't pick each other.
That's what she's.
And that was like the downfall of that because it would have been really, really good TV for us to play each other. Yeah. So, like, I wish I would have played her. So that's like my number one. That's probably the only thing I regret in the show is I wish I would have played Melissa. But then going into marbles, I played against Perna. And I was winning. Okay. I was winning the whole game.
Got the best way.
So he actually chose the game where he drew a box in the sand.
Okay.
It was a 3-point line, a 2-point line, and a 1-point line. And then we had to just throw. And then, like, whoever gets the most points. And they asked me, like, why did you let him choose a game? Okay. And in my head, I'm like, look, Perna's a really smart guy. Very intelligent guy. I'm not playing anything that has to do with probability. Like, he's going to just outsmart me, right? So I'm like, if he picks a skill game, I'm not arguing. Okay. So he picked the game, and he said, we'll throw it. And I'm like, this boy has no idea. Like, he going back to Kansas as a loser. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
And that's what you thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. And I was, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at your demise. I'm just saying, that's what you thought.
I was so confident. Like, and so we played, and I was winning the whole game. I was actually beating him 8-3. And he was, like, having an off game. He had 7 marbles. He only made 1. He was missing them like crazy. Yeah. And I had hit my 8th marble, and I was beating him 8-3. And I'm not going to lie, like I completely lost focus. Because I knew if I won that game, I'm top 30. Now at top 30, I'm like, oh, this $4.56 million is real. So, and you know, the cameras all over the place. And I just was like, the whole game I was beating him. He never had to leave. Yeah. His 8th marble, there's only 10 marbles. His 8th marble, he hit a 3. Now it's 8-6. I'm still winning. Yeah. I was like, oh, lucky shot, right? But because I'm like, now I'm like, oh, I already got this in the bag. I threw it, missed. But I'm like, he's been missing like crazy. Yeah. His 9th marble, he hits another 3.
Are you sure he wasn't playing with you? You know,
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like the pool stick, the
pool
person.
Like hustling me.
Yeah, was he hustling you?
No, because he was pissed. Because I could see in his face he was mad. Yeah. Like, he was getting angry after every throw. So, and I'm like, oh, I got him, right? Because I'm being like very calm, cool. Yeah. And he beating me 9-8. I had one last marble. I threw it and I like missed it by like an inch. And then he ended up beating me on the last marble. That was the worst feeling. Like,
don't hood, god dang.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's hard, and like I'm such a like, and I'm working on this. But I know I'm very self-aware. I'm a sore loser. So like when I am a sore loser.
He went just the same way.
It's true. So I don't want to make excuses. Like I give Pern a lot of credit. He came back and won.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had a different strategy. Like I was throwing underhand. Like he started, he threw underhand, and I had mentioned to him maybe we should throw overhand.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, like you can throw any way you want. So he threw underhand. I'm like, I threw underhand. I hit a 3 immediately. Yeah. So, but then I started like missing them. If I would have threw overhand, I think I would have killed. Like beer pong. I played college baseball.
Oh man, it's funny how we tend to change up strategies in our head, and we know what that worked for us prior, and we change it up because in our heads we're like, well, maybe in this situation, $4.5 million, or maybe I need to do something different.
Yeah, and when I saw him throw underhand, I'm like, well, underhand may be easier.
Yeah.
Even though I've never thrown underhand in my life, I'm like, it may be easier than just kind of like throwing like this. I ended up going back home, and I ended up getting marbles, buying marbles, making the same thing. So I hit like 4 out of 10 shots. I ended up making the same box, and I played it 4 times. I was going to play it again. I was just so mad I threw the marbles out. I played it 4 times. When I went overhand, I hit 8 out of 10. Damn. 8 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10.
Dang, man. That's that mind. That's the mind. That's what I'm talking about. We overcompensate for the things we need to overcompensate for. We reevaluate things we need to reevaluate when we should already know. And coming from you, because you are so confident within yourself, I know that was part of your growth, and I know that was part of who you. Now you gotten better.
Oh, way better now.
Because I mean, I think I would after that.
Yep, way better. Yeah.
Oh damn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, we move on into cookies.
Yeah,
something else.
So I'm happy. Let me get excited.
We move on. We'll move on. We're gonna start with you when you went down to the. We're gonna start with crossing red light, green light. Okay, we're never gonna move up from there.
Okay.
So red light, green light. So when you was in red light, green light, what was your feelings in that part of it? What was that like for you?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, at first, like in the beginning, the set was incredible. I mean, looking at that, it was like, I can't believe like I'm actually on a real set of Squid Game. Like this is insane. But I was locked in. Like I just knew I was like, I gotta complete this. Like there's no way I'm going home after day 1. Yeah. And my boys, my parents, my brother would destroy me. And they were like, "No, seriously? Like you just flew to London and now you're back home?" Yeah, so I had that in my head. I literally kept saying like my brother and my best friend's names in my head, like as the hours are going on.
Wait. Yeah. So your motivation was look y'all. Anybody call me out on that. Like,
in my head, I'm like, Alvin, Mike, Jose, Chris, Alvin, Mike, like my best friends and my brother. Because I'm like, I am not getting eliminated. They're not gonna see me get out.
So how long it took you to get across?
So I think it was over 5 hours. Like I wasn't like towards the end. I was more like in the middle. But it was. I tell you, I've been to a police academy 6 months. I've been to a SWAT academy. I played college baseball. Red light, green light was the single hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
You know what's crazy? Dylan said it was actually easy for him.
Really?
Yeah, Dylan felt like it was easy for him because he said he was resting. He was like, he did it down. Like he said, I'll turn to the 30 minutes on one side and I turned 30 minutes on the other. And then he got up, he started running, he go past people, then he rested for another little bit, and then he did it again.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Dylan, why you lying?
That's what he said. I was like, he said he found it. He said most people said they found it hard, but he said it might be pretty.
It's interesting because I met people before. Like I met 2 guys. I met like a Marine and I met a Special Forces guy on the Ranger on the bus before, and they didn't make it. Like people, military, training, college athletes. The quarterback for I think it was Iowa State didn't make it. Like,
but remember, train.
It was hard.
This is different. You've been submerged into a different type of situation. You're being submerged into a world of like unknown.
It's true.
You're being restricted of certain things. You're on camera now. That stress alone. You gotta perform. And I always knew when I ran track, it was hard. When I would get to it, for some odd reason, I mean, you have to do this in front of all these people. Sometimes that is very nerve-wracking in itself. That alone. You guys had hours upon hours of having to hold a position.
That was great. I'll tell you what. So again, I'm very confident in my abilities. Like maybe too confident sometimes, right? Like, but,
don't apologize for that confidence. Because let me tell you what I heard, and I go back to what Brighton says. Brighton talks about Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
And his conversation about how Jesus was very had a lot of strength. And when I don't have the quote in front of me, but I said there's nothing wrong with being self-confident.
Yeah.
Actually, confidence drives even more success because you don't give down on nobody that's talking about.
Yep. Oh yeah. Amen.
The only thing that matters is the way you treat other people.
Oh yeah.
And if you treat other people fine, then all the rest of that don't even matter. It's because it's your mind, your strength. So anyway, but yeah, don't be apologizing.
Yeah. So I thought it was. No, you're right. You're 100% right. And I was praying to Jesus the whole time. They didn't let me wear my jewelry. They didn't let me wear this to cross because we had to take it off. But it was there. It was there with me in spirit. But I just remember, like, so red light, green light. There was because it wasn't as wide. There was like layers of people. Right, so some people in the front, I was all the way in the back. It just so happened that I got pushed to the back, and I never forget. Like the first red light, I looked down, and my right foot is still in the starting line, and I'm like, "Oh, this is not good." Like
you really went out.
I'm like, "This is not good at all." Like I'm gonna be in some trouble. Yeah, and then like initially, I went in like a boxing stance because I was like, "Oh, like I could hold a boxing stand," and I did it, and I was like, after 3 minutes, I'm like, "Oh, this ain't good." Like, this is not good. So then I, like, changed my strategy because I was, like, looking at other people. But that was hard, man. That was the single hardest thing I ever did. That was very difficult. That was very, very difficult.
Yeah. That's not what Dennis said, though.
Yeah.
Dennis said disease. Dennis said that, but it's I love it, though. When you was in the show, I mean, and after that part, you got into the dorms. Mm-hmm. What was that like for you? Because, you know, you're in the dorms now. But...
Yeah. Well, it was cool. So it was like two things. One, it was very exciting because you got to see the living quarters and stuff. But also, I wanted to stay on my game. Like, I felt like even going to like the hotel, first day in the hotel and seeing everybody in the lobby, for me, it was like game time already. Like, I'm already looking at people who are going to be my competitors. I'm looking at people who I'm going to team up with. Like, I was like very like calculated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
did it work out the same way?
So it worked out. It actually worked out in a way that I didn't expect to work out for the better. For the better. And I can get into that right after like the dorms, but the dorms are amazing. I was just trying to figure out when I went there, I'm trying to figure out a vantage point. Yeah. Like, where am I going to sleep to get good sleep, one, and then two, to be able to watch people. Yeah. But I will tell you this. So Brad, right, your husband, Brad and Charlie, like, they were my first two people I met. Like, number ones, before red light, green light, our numbers lined up.
This is so true,
Yeah, like, our numbers lined up. Like, Brad's 337, Charlie's 344. Yeah. So we, like, met immediately, and we just started talking and vibing. And then I didn't see them in red light, green light. Yeah. But when I got to the dorm, I was like, "Oh, I'm looking for Brad and Charlie."
You already looking for them.
Oh yeah, like these are like my boys, and it was fun because it was cool. And one, I saw that they were strong.
Brad and Charlie, come on in.
Smart. Yeah, get on in over here.
Yeah. Game time.
My boy. Yeah, baby.
Let's Rio, baby.
Let's go.
Let's Rio.
Hey, get over here.
Come on, Charlie. You gotta jump on over here.
Oh no, you gotta stay there.
Jump up here in the center.
Come on in.
Yeah, let's get it. Hey,
what's up? This is the wolf
pack.
Wolf pack, baby.
Let's go.
So I
gotta ask questions of these, all of this.
That's fine.
Yeah. So you see like their numbers. So we like met immediately, and like we were just talking. And 337, 339, and then 344. So like they put you in a tent. For like 50 players at a time. Okay. So, you know, I saw that and I'm like, oh, this is like strong dudes. And Brad was like, obviously, you know, very energetic and smiling. I'm like, oh, that's good. That's optimism. Like, I need that. So cool to talk.
I'm hearing it all day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like Brad. So I mean, like, so we're talking about them. Like, all right, these are going to be my guys. They passed around like really way before me. So I didn't even see them. So I go into the dorm and then I see them. And I'm like, oh, there they are. Like, let's go. Like, this is going to be the triple threat. Melissa at 361 comes along. It's like, oh, Rob, because like we met and we're like, she's like, oh, Rob, like I found a bed for you or whatever. And I looked at them and I'm like, I'm gonna have to see y'all later. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was about it there. He was like, hey guys, hey, I love y'all, but hey man, I gotta go ahead and do it. My girl up over here. I said, hey, I'm mad at you, bro.
That's pretty much right after you got into the dorm.
Right after.
Isn't that funny? It's your mother one.
Oh yeah. I was like, yo, these guys are cool, but like,
what was your relationship like in there?
Us three?
So I know you had your lives with Melissa and all of them. And you, even though you were still kind of quiet as kept, you were still what it was. And I know Brad didn't really have much in the last two, like, you know, he still did a little, except for him and Charlie, but we're going to get into that later. But,
so this for me was the pivotal point of the show. So going into the show, I talked to my brother who's a big gamer, and my brother's like, look, don't trust anybody. This is $4.56 million, right? Don't, like, people are gonna fake me your friends. Don't trust the women. Don't trust the guys. Like play them to your advantage. And they told us in our interviews and like applying to the show that alliance. They kept using the word alliance and all the paperwork. It was like this was gonna be a big thing, right? So I'm like, I'm not good at puzzles. Like I know what my strengths are. So I'm like, you know what? I'm a people person. So I'm gonna my strategy was pull alliances from different corners of everywhere, right? So when I met them, I'm like, oh, all right, they got that locked in. I met Melissa, and I'm like, you know what? It'd be a good strategy. Because now I'm strategizing. It's a good strategy to have two separate alliances. Because if one gets out, because like say I only make friends with one, like just them two, right?
Yes.
If they get out, and it's day 5, and now I go over to another group, they're going to go, you're only with us because your friends got to leave.
Yeah, true.
Right? So I was with the corner, and then I would like pop in and hang out with Brad and Charlie.
Yeah.
So I would like splitting time.
Yeah.
While also meeting other people. So like that's how like that worked. But what's crazy is that the strategy ended up just turning into like genuine, like authentic friendships. And it's hard. Like I'm from Jersey. Like, we don't really trust people.
Yep.
You know, like, and we have that hard exterior. Like we're like, man, like
Northerners.
Yeah, like kind of keep away from me. You know, I'm like right by New York, and I end up looking at these two like older brothers. Okay. Like I would look because I was starving. You know, I'm tired, and I would look at Brad. He's always smiling. He's always picking me up. So I'm like, you know what? All right, like my brother's got me. And then it just became. It almost was like a downfall a little bit in the show, because I know if I ever had to eliminate them, I wouldn't. And there were bigger competitors than me.
They would have never.
I know. What I'm saying is like, so like vote. So I mean like voting wise, like if I had a vote.
Listen.
I mean like if I say I had a vote, right? Like, they were like if they gave me one of the votes, my strategy, if they give me a vote, I'm taking out the biggest players, the biggest threats, right? But Brad would be the biggest threat in the show completely. But in my head, I'm like, well, I want to keep him around because he's helping me out too. Like he's like my boy now. Yeah. You know, like at the end, if it was like just us three, obviously I'd beat the both of them. But like, you know what I'm saying? But like, yeah. So that, but we, you know, so I had like both, and then also in the show they even asked me, they're like, you know, we see you're going back and forth with these two groups.
Oh, they did see.
Yeah, my interview and like one of my mibs, and they were like, well, why don't you just include Brad and Charlie in the corner? And I was like, well, because like Brad, because I was gonna just say, yo, why don't you guys just come over? But I noticed that Brad was like the head of the dorms, right? Really? So he didn't want to be like, and correct me if I'm wrong, he didn't want to be associated with just one group. Like I didn't think he wanted to be associated with just one group.
We were super agnostic.
He was just everywhere. Like everybody knew who Brad was, right? Right. So he was helping people here. So it was almost like I felt like they didn't want to get locked down into like a certain lines when they could just talk to everyone. Yeah. Which was a good strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, like with me and Charlie, especially with Rob, like we wanted to make sure there was a dynamic to where like we could actually be like androgynous. So we could like, you know, mingle with like all different types of groups, but like Rob had like a really strong core group with like, you know, Dylan, Melissa, Ned, Mikey, Kyle, everybody. But Rob was actually the backbone of that group though. Yeah. So he held a lot of them together. But the thing is, because he was the backbone of that group, that also caused a lot of tension when things started falling down or breaking apart. Like we were so close that like when they saw him decide to work with us on different games, like freaking like Warships, they were mad as hell. And they got so pissed that it created a situation for Rob to where he was about to freaking blow his top. And remember the conversation we had in the hallway? I'll let you tell him.
Oh yeah, so like Rob came to us, who was it, Mikey?
It was Mikey and Kyle.
They were like mad at you and they were like, you can't go with them. But what exactly did they say? I know what we said to you.
Yeah, so the situation was basically, it was for like, we thought Tug of War was coming next. And this is why I said it was like the downfall kind of, where it was like, okay, they're looking at me as the leader of the group and it's Tug of War and there's like other games. But now I'm like, it's getting to that point where I feel like I have to be with my people. And I was like,
you came to apologize to us.
Yeah, I was
like,
with them.
Your group.
Yeah, so I'm like, I told Mikey and Kyle, I'm like, hey, I'm like, hey, with all due respect, like, I was like, with all due respect, I'm going with Brad and Charlie. Because you guys are my boys, but like, they're like my brothers. You know, I'm going with Brad and Charlie. And I'm bringing Melissa with me. Like, she felt left out, so she was always going to come with me anywhere to make sure she was good. And he was like, you know, Kyle, and I love Kyle, but he's emotional in the game. He's like, yo, like, you're the strongest in our group. You're leaving us. Like, this is BS, blah, blah, blah. I know he got emotional about it because he didn't really make the other connections. And just, you know, my kind of like, again, my downfall was like, my empathetic side came out. And I'm like, well, I don't want to leave him. Like, he's a lot of money, you know? Yeah. So I went up to them too, because I knew they would understand, right? So I was like, hey, guys, like, I can't be with you guys in the next, like, game.
They're okay.
Because, what? They gave me the best advice.
You didn't blink twice.
All right.
All
Who you, Rob? But when I tell you, I said, bro, look, they're not looking out for your best interest. Yep. I said, unfortunately, you got to look out for your best interest, and we support you in that. Because we said, look, you can hang out with us or them. It doesn't matter. Whatever you feel like you got to do, we're here to support that. Because we're all here to win, but like we have that respect where it's like, bro, you're not gonna make us feel anything.
Yeah.
He did.
He's like, hey.
Because that's what I was told. Yeah. Because that's kind of what they told me.
Go ahead, bro.
They said it was
exactly what happened too.
That's what you said too. That's exactly. If there was anything, y'all put it all together. The same story. That was exactly the story. Because it was like, yeah, he was caught between two of us, and you know, one place over here, one place over there. We told him, man, go on, do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Good. You know.
He said, don't cry about it though.
Yeah, no, it was great. I felt torn. Like, I woke the whole
They
group
said,
up.
don't cry about it.
I know.
At least everything's fine.
No.
You were sensitive.
A little bit. Because, like, when it comes to people, I get, like, I love people, like, good people.
You know what's crazy is that I know you're very sensitive. Because when I first met you, one of the things I think, because we were all, I think y'all don't, even though y'all was stressed, I was still stressed. I mean, I'm my husband went on this show and it affected him differently than it affected a lot of people.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm learning that. And one thing I have to say this, babe, I'm realizing that after meeting Kat has done a really amazing job for herself. Me and Kat have a lot of similarities, right? And because remember I told you that you and Kat basically had the same reaction and response, I'm starting to realize something, y'all. I couldn't wait to say this, I'm going to say it now. I was like, the people who had the response when her had were the ones who basically were doing an amazing job of themselves. Well, I mean, living the life that they were going to have a lot of money. Yeah. Those people that they were like, you can't relate to me because you weren't in the game. That was his response, and that was her response.
Yeah.
And I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's baseball.
There's nothing to worry about. You go back to a better life.
It's funny because they're talking about like, the emotion too. Is that because that's what I was wrapped up in. I was also wrapped because I wanted to win this money. Like, you know, I got like personal reasons with my family that I wanted to win, and then. But also now I felt like I couldn't betray my people in here. Even though like my brother's like, bro, like just...
Yeah.
But when you're in there, I would say this, there's no other reality show that's like this because in other reality shows, they get to like go off in a room by themselves or they get their own free time. And we were there 24/7, every day, every second of every day. So you got to see the genuine character of people. And
you have a big heart. You're a police, we'll get into more detail, but you're a police officer. And to find a cop like you was rare too, because you're not common on that surface with that particular, that particular kind of thing. And like I said, we'll talk more about that. But back to you guys as a friendship.
These two were the best thing that happened to me.
We saw the emotion in this man's eyes.
Those baby blue eyes were
hard. Me and Charlie came out the bathroom because we did something called shower hour, which nobody got to see on the show. So we be showering for like 2 hours just talking shit, like about everything, no matter what it is. We come out from a long ass shower. Rob come up, he's like, guys, man, I need to talk to y'all, man. What's going on, man? Like, they started to get mad at me because they're like, I'm going to be on y'all's team for tug of war. Even though, of course, we didn't play tug of war. It's like, man, they get mad because like, they know I'm going to roll with y'all. I'm not going to be with them. And we're like, bro, it doesn't matter. It's like, so I'm going to have to go with them. I was like, bro, it's cool. Like, it's cool. It's like, but y'all aren't going to be upset. Like, bro, we love you. Like, no matter what you decide, it is cool. And I'm like, if they going to be some assholes and some dicks towards you for making that decision, then they not your real friends.
Right.
So we want to make sure you just don't lose sight of that because they should respect your decision if they care about you.
Right. And that was the best. Like I'm saying, that's exactly what they both said. And I felt such a relief because I'm like, I didn't want to, like, because these are now my family, and I didn't want to disappoint. I felt like I didn't want to disappoint them. And when they gave me that, I literally woke up. It was like the middle of the night. We don't know what time it was, but all the lights were cut out. I was supposed to be sleeping. It was like, I felt like 2 or 3 in the morning. I woke Kyle up. I woke Mikey up and I was like, hey, like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm gonna roll with you guys. Like, I don't want to leave you guys alone. Like, cause they said they had no other friends in there. Like, I'm not gonna leave you guys alone. Like, let's do this together. Blah blah blah. Blah. I mean, like, I went back to sleep, but yeah, I like there's two things because family is so like again like I didn't really like grow up with much. The only like my mom and dad they separated, but they just gave me so much love that I realized that what life is really about is like if you're surrounded by the right people. Like your life will be magnified by 1,000, right? So you can have money, but if like you're a miserable person and you're evil, your life's gonna suck, right? If you're poor and the same thing, your life's gonna suck, right? Like people intensify. If you have good people around you, it intensifies everything. So like the more money, so if you have money but you have good people, well then you can experience good stuff with the people you care about, right? So meeting them and also meeting Kyle, Mikey, Melissa, Dylan, Jada. Like I love all of them, so I'm like, man, I really put myself in a situation where I'm gonna disappoint somebody, and they really helped me out. Like
They
really helped me out.
They're kind of like some peas in the pies over there.
Yeah, there was a point where people don't know this, and it's not shown. Like I laid in the bed, and I was like, because I was very active. They didn't show. Like, we did talent show dancing. I was playing football with socks. Like I was out there. I had a bunch of friends. I was like having a good time.
Wait, you was playing football with socks?
Yeah, they bunched together like a bunch of socks.
Y'all didn't have real balls.
No.
So the conversations that I've had with people talking about they playing soccer.
Oh yeah, that was with socks. That was like
Socks.
How
That was
creative.
made
bunch of socks.
every other day.
Yeah, just made new socks.
Good
Yeah.
ball.
And that one day I was laying there, and production must have knew because production grabbed me and pulled me out and was like not an interview. It wasn't just a side conversation. They're like, "How are you doing?" And they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't even stuff." Like, but they knew because I'm telling you, it's hard to be like my friend because I'm like, but like when you do, like I love hard. So
Yeah. That's crazy. Wow. I'm just sitting here shocked about this soccer ball. This soccer ball.
Side ball.
soccer.
I love soccer
I
ball.
love soccer.
That's so funny.
It's a real soccer.
Y'all are very creative over here. But either way, I mean, I really just want them to see your relationship. Y'all
Yeah, we're about to jump up out of here. The last thing we're gonna say is that like after the show, we become like the closest freaking brothers
true.
on earth. These guys are actually moving to Atlanta.
Let's go.
Like literally, and started their own business, which is gonna be monumentally insane. And we've actually traveled like literally like out of the country together.
Yep.
And we've like, done trips, hung out, like
And that's within less than a year.
Oh yeah,
It's true. We done a lot this year.
In 30 days,
Columbia,
traveling
Miami,
together.
Atlanta.
60 days they was traveling together. They've been doing a lot of stuff together. Let me just say so.
yeah. So the relationships, the bonds are real. We just want to let y'all know. So y'all see us
We're
all
gonna
over
keep
the place in
validating
different countries and
that.
different
And we're
cities.
gonna keep
Hey,
on
it's real.
validating.
Yeah, no, it's real. It's like real.
Yeah. All right, my brother, we love you, man. Hey, let's go.
Wolfpack, baby.
Wolfpack,
Let's go, baby.
Wolfpack.
There go, baby.
I do have a question though.
Yeah.
Because Brad was around Charlie so much, do you think your relationship with him was different from that? Like a little different?
No, I think it just kind of like meshed together, because like we all have similar relationships together, but also we have like difference. Like me and Charlie a little different than Brad and Charlie, and then me and Brad a little different than So like all three of us, we have the same kind of like foundation and respect and relationship and love each other. So, but we all have like kind of different things that we talk about and everything. Like initially, I connected with Brad in the tent because he, no one knew what Brad's lifestyle was. Brad hit that, right?
Well, that's all.
But he wanted to be genuine.
That's why I said what I just said, because I was like thinking about who you were, and I know how you are about people in general. And I was like, that thing, when it just hit me like when I don't know where I hit it.
Yeah.
But another person came in and they said, I'm gonna ask you too about how did this make you feel he got out,
Yeah. Yeah, and then, and what the cool part was, I'm actually glad, Brad obviously had the strategy of not telling people what he does because he doesn't want to get eliminated or he doesn't want to,
So they dealing with eliminating.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just like, I asked him what he did for a living. He was like, oh, no, I help people with like disabilities. And I'm like, oh, I'm a police officer. Like, that's what you do, man? Like, that's genuine stuff. Like, man, you're a really good dude. Like, just off basically what he did, right? So we basically, Charlie, Brad, and I just all bonded the whole time. But what's crazy is that we met before the game started. We continued throughout the game. We were on the same team. And then we separately each got eliminated at the same time. So we all lost in marbles by 3 different people. Like, the probability of that's crazy.
How funny is that?
Like, the probability is crazy. To meet before, to get working together, to be on the same team, and to get out together.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then after we got out, Brad told us what he did. I didn't believe him because we have our phones. I'm like, bro, like, you don't gotta lie to us. Like, we love you, man. Like, you don't gotta like lie to us and stuff. And he's like, no, I'm telling you. Like, and I'm like, he's like, I'm only gonna tell you two. And I'm like, Brad, you don't gotta lie, bro. Like, we love you, man. Like, we just spent over 2 weeks in there together, you know? Yeah. And then like 2 days later, the show was stuff. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
You talk about, he ain't got to lie to you about what?
Like having money.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, bro, I'm like, man, I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Going up in these damn games, acting like they ain't got nothing. He got something.
Yeah, before we move on, I have to say this, because to me, this is like one of my favorite parts about it, because Charlie laughs all the time. So I was like, oh, because we were talking in the games. I'm like, oh, I got to visit you in Atlanta. Charlie, I got to visit in St. Louis. And I'm like, yo, Brad, like, you got to come to Jersey.
No,
like, I live 5 minutes from New York. Like, I live 5 minutes. Because no one really wants to go to Jersey, right? So I always leave with the New York thing. He always talked about you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Brad, bring your wife, Tronda, to Jersey. I'll take you to New York. I go, look, I got a 1-bedroom. Y'all can sleep in my room. I'll sleep on the couch. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, you don't have to spend no money and nothing. And it's funny because I didn't know I was in the time. I'm like, you don't have to spend no money, all right? That was in the game. I'm like, I'll take care of you guys. Don't worry about it. Fast forward after I find out, and I make the joke. I think Charlie made the joke first. And I'm like, man, they ain't staying in my little small 1-bedroom, man. I was like, man. So I did that to me. I remember that forever.
Yeah.
Because he kept composure about it.
Yeah, very
good. Oh, yeah, we'll stay. Like,
he real good at that.
Oh, yeah, he kept his composure. He didn't make me feel bad.
Real good at that. He said, I went in there, he tell nobody nothing. They ain't know nothing till after. You know. But that is so funny. When you was in the game, I know we talked about, now we moved on to Warships. Warships, what was that like for you?
Yeah, I was nervous. So again, like I went into every game very confident. Marbles was the most confident, but every game I'm like,
because you thought that's what we took of war.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be tug of war. And I'm like, but you know what? And my mindset is you can't go into a fight thinking you're gonna lose. You know, I've been at the fights growing up, and you just can't you can't take yourself out of the game.
Were y'all close to getting hit at all?
Oh, so in the game, so like this is like prior to the game. But prior to the game, they basically gave us a disadvantage. So every team had 15 people, and we had only 14.
Okay.
Because there wasn't enough people. And in tug of war, that's a 200-pound difference, right? And the only team I was worried about playing was Line 1.
Okay.
Like, that's it. There was 8 lines.
Who was in there?
Brighton, Riley,
I got it.
The Australian guys, Jordan.
With Riley, all of them. Just
all the big dudes.
Yeah,
Eric from Ireland, like all these big, strong dudes.
Yeah.
And they're the only team I don't want to play.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, they're going to give us some trouble. But what happens with the first game? They pick up our line and their line.
You was on Brad's team?
Me?
Oh.
Yep, with Charlie. Yep, me, Brad, Charlie.
Why come I didn't see them?
Yeah, because they didn't show us.
Oh, that's right. My bad. Yeah.
In the boats. Oh, so and this is what's kind of like, they sure showed my face. Because Charlie was safe.
Yeah.
Brad and I were the ones that were in danger.
Yeah.
So once we go into Warships, we're like, oh, it's not tug of war.
Yeah.
Like, this is great. Like,
so funny.
Such a relief. Because
yeah.
Even though we would have tried to beat them, but it would have been difficult.
See, this is what this is for. Because y'all, I didn't even know. Yeah. I didn't even know that they were actually. Yeah. I knew, they talked, they were together and everything, but I didn't know that Brett, you was actually playing to save them. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a clue that they were on your team.
Yep.
Not one.
Yeah, a lot of people, I even text me, they're like, man, what team are you on? Because, it's hard to tell. They're like, there's no names and stuff, so it's hard. But Brad and I were in the same situation, in the same boat, no pun intended, that so my boat got hit. Yeah. So one boat sank, right? Both sank. And now my boat got hit twice. Okay. So I'm the last seat left. So if Brad misses,
you going down.
They hit me. They have no other option. They're going to me. Yeah. My boat sinks. I'm out, and Brad's out.
Wow.
Charlie stays because he's in another boat. Yeah. We're out.
Yeah.
And if you see it as an aerial view, Charlie's behind me. I give Charlie like a pound. Yeah. And I'm like, hey man, good luck the rest of the way. Because I thought they had a 3-boat, so we only hit one seat. So I'm holding Rose. She's in my boat. I'm holding her hand, and I'm like this.
So I know that was a lot of emotion.
I'm like this. Yeah. And we hit their second boat, and I go,
I don't even know.
Now it's coming.
C4 hit in, C3, whatever you got him.
But then I was waiting. I'm like, but now I'm like, damn, we just hit their second boat. Like now they're gonna hit me, and then they were like, you have sunk their battleships, and we just exploded. That was the greatest feeling ever. Oh, that was such an emotional roller coaster. This is gonna sound crazy to people, but I've been shot at. Yeah. And I was more nervous in the boat like that I was gonna get eliminated and go back home
Yeah.
than when I was getting shot at, which is crazy. How crazy is that?
And then I skipped over cookies. Or did I? Yeah, I skipped over cookies.
Yeah.
So with cookies, I don't know why I have a tendency to do that, but I do. I skip over cookies. I go to Warships and I go to cookies. So now we all know you was in the line with Matt.
Now,
What line were you in?
I was in the second line, triangle. There's actually a nice picture of Brad's like massaging Charlie's shoulders, like, cause Charlie's up next. He's like, you got this kind of thing. And you see me in the background. I'm looking at Charlie like, go, dude, you know. Yeah, so I was separate from them, but I had triangle, and it was actually to me relatively easy,
I like that you did.
like 5 minutes.
So you did.
Yeah, I
Practice
did.
before?
Oh, I didn't practice, but I've just like seen the show,
Okay.
so I just kind of did what they did.
You know, that's yeah.
Yeah, but it was a little. That was like the easiest, probably.
Was there any growth in the show? You felt like that? Did you grow any while in the show?
Oh yeah, a ton. I mean, it tests your mental fortitude. It tests, you know, it was more of a mental test than anything, and a spiritual test. It's like, how long can you endure all this stuff? You know, I learned to. This is like I saw this quote. You know, the game doesn't stop until the clock hits 0, and I think that was a big thing for me with my marbles loss. Was that because I was winning 8-3, I took the pressure off. Like I should have just kept my foot on the gas. The game's not over yet, right? So I kind of just allowed myself to feel the win and go, oh, there's only 30 people left.
And opened up the
Then I opened up the door. Like I should have just kept, as they say, like keep your foot on the throat. So that's a big life lesson for me. Another life lesson was, you know, things are not gonna always go your way.
No.
Right? You're gonna get punched in the mouth.
Yeah. But we know that going in.
Yeah.
So-
but it intensified for me.
I've been there.
Yeah, it made it because now it's like, okay.
So what you do about it now? What do you think about that now? Like, because you know what you know, how, okay, well, things don't always go my way.
Yeah.
What's your recourse for that?
Yeah. So now it's funny you're saying that because I developed. It took a little while, but I developed like now when something doesn't go my way, I give myself the grace to feel it. Right. So I'm like, okay, I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm upset, I'm
Acknowledge
pissed
it.
off. Like,
Yes.
okay, and I give myself. But usually out before the games, I would mask it. Like I'd throw out positivity.
Yes.
Like, yo, I'm okay. It's almost like I related to this. This has gotten a little dark, but I related to this. It'd be like a family member passing away, and that day somebody going up to you going, you know, everything happens for a reason. Like even though everything happens for a reason is right, that's like not the time to tell them, right? So
You don't want to come to me then.
yeah, no,
Because I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Because I believe like we all have a life. You talking about death for real. That's me though. Because I feel like when we're in our parents' womb, God has already had that conversation
yeah,
with our spirit in the womb, and already gave us an exact day for whatever that it's going to be. There's nobody could tell us differently that it's going to be a different day. It was going to be like that.
yeah. Yeah, and you're right. And what's funny is I believe everything you're saying. I've read your book,
And I'm
and I
like,
believe everything
be
you're saying.
okay.
But the thing is that like, but some people like,
I don't mean it. Yeah.
no, it's not even that. It's like I just know my strengths and weaknesses because I've tried that like before, and I just didn't allow myself to heal.
Yeah.
Like where other people can, right? Like I didn't
not
allow
part of
myself
it.
to heal.
We do
Yeah.
it.
And so now I'd be like, okay, something doesn't go my way. Maybe like I didn't get this, I didn't get that, whatever it was. It's not happening against me. It's not happening against me. It's happening for me. Right? It's happening to me. It's happening for me. But give myself a couple of days. Like be mad, be angry, okay. And then now it's like, how do I move on? I journal. I surround myself with positivity. I read. I'm like, okay, now let's got to get back on track because the real world stuff, the world's gonna move on. Right? It doesn't matter what happens. God forbid you get cancer, you get sick, you lose a family member, you lose all your money, whatever it is.
I
People
believe
will
what's
care
for
about
you
you.
is for you, whether
Yeah.
good or bad.
Yep. And
That
you're
ain't
right.
that is that's simple as that. Ain't nothing you can change about that, good or bad,
Yep.
but your understanding and your feelings toward it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Amen. And I'll tell you what, and people that don't really know, and I want people to know this about. They go, well, you on a reality TV competition series, right? So win money, like how intense could that be? So I never watched reality before this, and when I saw people crying on reality, I'm like, come on, get a grip, like you're on a TV show,
It's
right?
funny how you say that.
Yeah, I'm like, get a grip, right? Oh, okay, do you? Because I'm like, get a grip, like you're on a show, you know? When you're in there and you're immersed in this experience, and you know you only have one shot, like if you get eliminated, if you do a cookie and you mess up, guess what? They take you out of the dorm, you go back to the hotel, they give you an interview, and then they fly you back home. and you don't even get to say bye to your friends. Like one of the most intense parts about it was, and this makes you appreciate the moments, is like when you complete a game, you go back to the dorms and you're waiting for other people to complete the game. So now you're like waiting for the people that are your friends that actually helped you through it because it's so intense, right? And when they don't walk back into the dorm because they got eliminated, like when you're eliminated, you don't get to say goodbye. So you don't see them, and people would break down because these are the people getting them through the toughest times. So it really is it's a beautifully done social experiment, and it's not fake. Like these cries, these people in emotion, like being emotional, it's not fake. It's not acting. It's real stuff.
And it's not just for Squid Games. This is honestly for pretty much any reality TV show. Because that's the thing. I get it that people give some reality TV shows, especially the ones that actually take the background noise away, take away all of these things that make a difference that you used to use every day or whatever it is. We put the restrictions on you. Any reality TV show that restricts you from your normal life, your normal way of living. I'm not talking about the ones that are covering your story as you being like, a housewife or something like that. I'm talking about the ones that literally submerge your butt into things like Squid Games, pulling you off Survivor, whatever that is. They pulling you into this world that is theirs. And when they do that, they're stripping you down to become a cast member in their world.
Yep.
And that's what happened to y'all. And so doing that, honestly, anyone that does that, you're not going to be that same person. You're going to have a more extended friendship base if you're that kind of person. You're going to have more of a situation where you're less. It allows you to grow in different ways. It allows you to be a person that you never thought you could be, and you see yourself just changing. To some degree, I never looked at reality shows that way until I really looked at them. But I would always tell Brad, I'd be like, they stripped him down to the bare necessities. Because Brad would be like, he's like, how can you be in love with this? I don't know, Tronda. It might be scripted. Da. Those just be his words. And I'd be like, no, I don't think so. I mean, they ain't got nothing but each other in there.
Sure.
And if they're not watching TV, they're not watching. They don't have their phones. Like most of the time, they're filming. Whatever. They're going to create a crazy bond.
Oh yeah.
He went in though. Now I don't have that conversation. We don't have that conversation. Though. We actually sees it. He sees it really like how I would see it.
Yep.
All the one Love Is Blind, all those like that. And I hadn't said it in several interviews, but because I hadn't had to. But it's like if we did those kind of things that we do inside, that you do inside in a reality TV show, take away all those distractions when you come and meet your family, when you're with your family, when you're with the person that you're trying to get to know, when you're with anything that it is that you desire to do, take away all the distractions. And it could be for just you starting a new career, whatever that is, you take away those distractions, you put only the focus in that. You know how quick, how intense, how much, easy it becomes to be or to do whatever that is.
Yep.
Just even if you did it for just 10 minutes a day,
Yep.
30 minutes a day, just nothing but you in that situation, whatever it is, relationship, the bond.
Amen to that. No, it's true.
The bond.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's funny because the show's such a roller coaster. You're trying to think back on all these moments and stuff. And even after it, like so Brad, Charlie, boom, number ones, right? Number 1 and 2. Melissa, I got very close with Dylan. Like in the show, I was close. Melissa was like, my best friend and the girl. But like Dylan, I was really cool with Mikey, kind of like, in the corner. But like Jada, for instance, like Jada came around us towards the end. Like I didn't really know Jada. Jada's probably the closest. I'm probably the closest to Jada now. Like besides Brad and Charlie, obviously, like everyone else, I'm the closest to Jada, and I wasn't even that close to the game. There's no scenes of us in the show. And now Jada and I talk all the time. Jada's still in my house. I've still over her house. I've been to her family parties. We go on vacations together. Like Jada is like the sister I never had. I love Jada. I love Jada.
Speaking of which, we were just said a minute ago about the no distractions.
Yeah.
There have been times I've seen my husband laying on the floor. Y'all know how it is. Well, you know what we was in high school. I'm about to put his ass on blast.
We got pictures.
Yeah, I do. I should pull them out. Laying on the floor, on his back, in the kitchen, y'all. He just laying up playing. Fan he talking to? On phone, hours. Not just 2, 3. You would swear. I mean, it's another person, another silent, like literally. Laying on his back. She's giggling. I said, who's he talking to? Oh, it's Charlie and Rob over there. They said, hello, Tronda. Lord Jesus. He would go, he's like, I mean, he'll find some side. I know he tried to avoid me sometimes because he wasn't saying nothing. But he would literally lay on his back or find a place to be where he can be in solitude with y'all.
Yep.
I've watched him do that. And I guess for me, that's very similar to what I'm talking about. I told him, now he's going to start doing that with me.
Mm-hmm.
Lay on your back for me, Dave. Listen, lay on your back for me for about 10 minutes. You said you were. Now you're telling me no. Yeah, what's up?
I got you, babe.
Shut up. Yeah, but I don't need him to spend hours. I just need to give me like 10, 20 minutes. That's all.
Yeah, all he does is talk about you though. We like, we knew you before we knew you. Because we came here in April when we met you. We got out of the show like the first week of February.
Mm-hmm.
So we were already talking.
Everybody was
February,
really
March.
fresh
Oh, yeah.
with that energy, though. I could tell. I mean, I was fresh. We all were
Yeah.
trying to trying to cope with certain things.
It's funny you talking about the phone stuff because I'm telling you, like I was engaged, like I had a fiance, right? And God bless her, like, we're not together anymore, but we're friends. So it worked out for the best. But I talked to Brad, Charlie, Jada, and Melissa and Dylan. Those 5 more than I talked to my fiance, my ex-fiance. More than I talked to anybody. My mom, my dad. My dad can't get me on the phone that long. My mom, she starts talking. I'm like, Mom, come on. You know what I'm saying?
And my question is, what the hell y'all be talking about?
Everything and nothing. Everything and nothing at the same time. Because things be passing by and I'm like, man, I don't even know where we went with this. Like, like what are we talking about?
I know. It's like, when you got off the show, I don't know if I asked you, as far as your healing, what kind of healing did you have to do for yourself?
Yeah, first was the giving myself the grace, but then, getting into a solid routine. Because I had to realize also, like, that's not my life.
Yeah.
Like, I was trapped in the game.
Yes.
Months after I got out, when I got out of the show, I took an additional like 2 to 3 weeks off of work
Yeah.
because I couldn't get back into the real world.
Okay.
Like I wanted to be back in the game.
Yeah.
The game was starved. Like we barely had like 600, 700 calories. Like I was hungry. I was tired. I lost 12 pounds in like 10 days.
And you wanted to get back.
And I want to get back in. I wanted it. Like I wanted I was home with my dog, with my brother. Like,
I learned that's the word for imposter syndrome. That's something that happens to people like when you've been this kind of thing. So it is something that it's real.
It was, I'll tell you, I couldn't go back to work. And I loved my life at home, but I was like, I need to be back in there. I need to be back with my friends. I need to be back in the experience, the ups and downs, the highs and lows. Like, so it took a while. So how I got out of that was, and I think that this will help anybody get out of that TV show. This will help anybody that's in a rut that can't kind of get out of it, that feels like they're in I call it the blender of life, and it's just whipping them around, is get back to a solid, or get to, if you've never done it before, a solid routine. So every morning I would wake up, I would take my dog for like a 30-minute walk. Well, no, I wouldn't even touch my phone. I wake up, and I do this today. I wake up, I look at my phone, make sure there's no emergency, put my phone down. And for like an hour, I look at my phone. I walk my dog, I talk to God, I meditate, and I say 2 things that I'm grateful for. And it has to be immediate. So it has to be the day before. It only be within 24 hours. I can't say I'm grateful for life every day. I can't use that every day.
Absolutely.
So if yesterday was a bad day, I still have to reach back and post something that I'm grateful for. And then when I go home, and then I go back, get ready, go to work, start my day. And I do that all the time. And then if something bad happens or whatever, the important thing is I accept it. I allow it to happen, but I don't let it linger. Because you got to snap out of it. The world's going to just move on. You got to snap out of it. But I think journaling, I think reading, finding mentors. You don't need to meet a mentor for them to be a mentor. Mentors are books. They're on podcasts, right? People could be watching this in Alaska, in China, in California. It doesn't matter. You could be a mentor to them by just watching. That's the beauty of social media. So I think that people should find the mentors that they aspire to be like, read positive things, consume positive content, and get to a strict, solid routine that works for you. And that I've been doing that since, and it's worked.
And what happens if you're not in a routine?
It kind of feels like I'm jumbled. Like anxiety starts to kick in a little bit, and I know I got to get back to that place. Because it's not always, right? Like you're not gonna always every day journal. You're gonna mess up sometimes. It's like going to the gym, right? And what I say to people is, like, if I'm going to the gym, don't live an all or nothing life, right? So if I go to the gym 10 days in a row and I miss a day, I can't go, oh, here we go, I missed it. I'm never gonna be able to do this, right? Like, no, you miss a day, it's okay. Next day, get back on track. right? So when I'm out of it, I kind of feel it. I have to get back into my routine.
Yeah, like taking pills. Damn.
Just right, one door. You gotta do it every
Yeah,
day.
there's some
You gotta try to do it every day, but if you miss it, it's like just get back on it. Like get back on the train. Don't overthink it. Like life it's a long life. You're not gonna be every single day on top of the world.
You're not supposed to be.
Yeah, you're not supposed
You're
to.
supposed to take your highs to lows and your lows to highs, so that you can continue to live your life. Yeah, that's really what it is. Thank you for sharing that with me in regards to what you do. I mean, like I said, I was very curious to see what you do outside of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing good now.
Yeah.
You're healed up. You're ready to move on, and you've been enjoying
There's
yourself.
better things, I'd say this is better, and I'm very grateful. Like no matter what the show airs and how much screen time people get, whatever it is, like I'm extremely grateful for Netflix and Squid Game because 2023 has been the best year of my life, hands down. It's because of the people I've met and the experiences that I've had. Squid Game, the traveling, the meeting cool people, the doing things, the pushing me out of my comfort zone, making me better, stronger. And my time, energy, and attention is placed in the right areas now. And I get more excited.
I know, dude. That's how I feel about such things too. I'm thankful for. You know what? I told him thankful for Squid Gas too, because it helped me be a better person too.
Yeah.
Because I was already on my journey, but where I am now, I see so much beauty in so much light. And it wasn't for being on the show. It was because of me wanting to change because of my husband being here. And it changed me, helped me change or get to a point where I felt there needed to be a change.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
So it was weird, but it happened.
It's a beautiful thing.
It happened. I didn't want it to. Definitely didn't like it either. None of that.
It changed scary.
You could have kept that. I was good, just chilling.
Yeah, I'm good. Like my life is good.
Good. That thing.
Yeah.
I'm good. No, Tronda, you asked for this. Well, you did this, you did that, whatever. It is what it is. What do you feel like you were an inspiration to anybody, or was there anybody on the show that inspired you?
Yeah, so I hope. Yeah, well, I mean, I aspire to inspire anyone and everyone. That's like, if I did inspire people, I'm blessed. Like, even if it was one person, people have reached out to me and they still do reach out to me. Even people I didn't meet on the show, because I would send in some like clips to kind of like help people. Yeah. And I love that stuff, right? Yeah. So I love trying to lift people and they reach out to me. So I'm good with that. Like, if I inspired you just for a day, I'm good with that.
I'm
blessed.
I'm trying to get people to say the word that.
Yeah, I'm blessed. Like, if I can inspire you one day, I feel blessed. But definitely like inspire me. I want to pick. There's a bunch of people in a few moments, but definitely 3 it would be like Brad, number 1. 2 I would say Jada, and 3 Melissa. I think Brad overall for the way he just lives his life in there. Like I thought day 3 is funny to go back to. Like day 3, even though I knew him already, I'm like, this guy's got an angle. But he's angling something. Ain't nobody that happy. Right, like he's like,
you swear that was fake, right?
No, but also like too, like what was he was getting me mad because he was helping people. Like they don't show us on the show. There's probably 50 plus people that would have been eliminated if it wasn't for Brad. He's teaching them like how to do the cookie. He's like the tug of war. We're getting ready. He's showing people like how to like balance themselves. And in my head, I'm like, bro, we're supposed to be eliminating these people. Like, why are you helping them? But then after being 10 months with him outside the games, I realized that's just who he is. Like that wasn't an act. So. I want to be inspired in that, and also like the way Brad handles like, I don't say disappointment, but things not going his way. And when something doesn't go Brad's way, he says, "Oh, it's fine because it's happening, for me still. Like I'm good. Like I know it. I'm manifesting what I want, and if this didn't happen, it means because something else better is supposed to happen. And that inspires me. And I'm still working on that because I'm like, man, like I it's good in theory to say, oh, I could be positive, but to actually be positive and to manifest stuff when things aren't going your way. That's like a big inspiration for me.
That's when you go the hardest.
Yeah.
Is when you feel like things are not going your way.
Yeah, and either go the hardest or you fail, or you just like, a lot of people can't.
Remember, you're pulling it, well, you don't, but you need to understand you're pulling it from your heart. Yep. You have it. Yeah. You have the same, you could be just the same as Brad.
I'm working it.
Because
I'm working it.
Your emotional, your sensitivity. Yeah. That feeling that you have, those feelings that you have, if you could put that same emotion to what it is you're trying to create, when I say I love you, you say I love you. That feeling pulls what that is you're trying to create closer to you faster than you can blink.
You're right. Amen. I know. I'm in the chills. I wish I could see in this jacket. It's true.
When you say it, when you say I deserve my life to be what I want it to be, instead of saying it, I deserve my life to be what I want you say. I deserve to be happy. I deserve it. And you put that same energy that you put behind being emotional, being sensitive to your job, everything. Tell me, man, you gonna drive it. Like you said, them chills. That's because it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. It's already within you. You just gotta tap into it a little bit more.
Yeah, you're right. And it's funny you say that because then it goes into the next two, like Jada. Jada's story is incredible. I mean, the fact that, so I love, again, family and stuff. Jada donated her kidney to save her brother's life. And that's her older brother, right? Like, usually it's the older brother protects the little ones, right? Like, she did that. Jada loves her mom. Jada loves her cousins. Jada's full of life, full of energy. So she's younger than me. Like, I'm 32. Jada's 25.
Yeah, I know what I'm about to say. Jada's mentally forward before her time.
Jada is a blessing in my life. I promise you. Like, you'll meet Jada, obviously.
She's mentally, she's a mental... She's like an old woman in her own little way spirit. Yeah. That's the
I love Jada. Like, there is nothing in the world that I wouldn't do for Jada. Like, I love her. Right. But she's still still no such she's still I don't care. I don't care how smart and how empathetic, how good she is.
She has that energy of an old soul.
Yeah. She's a beautiful human being. So she inspires me to continue to be like that, right? Like, to continue to just be positive, to love hard, to look at life as today, kind of like be where your feet are, type of thing, and stop thinking about things in the future that could go wrong, and be where your feet are, you're blessed. And she walks the walk, right? Like, it's not like she's just saying it. She literally donated her kidney to save her brother's life, right? She's trying to help her mom. She's doing a lot of good. So I love Jada. Melissa and I have a unique connection. Like, Melissa lost her mom. Her mom passed away, and my mom had cancer 3 times, colon cancer. My mom still struggles with it. My mom has had over 15 major surgeries. So we had this bond in the way that Melissa is very successful in her life. She has a beautiful girlfriend. She just, great job, family oriented. And she, a lot of people, man, when you lose your parents or you don't grow up with both parents, a lot of people use that as a crutch, or a lot of people, a lot of
totally different.
She's different. She's thriving in everything that she does.
Yeah, she do it because she can.
Yeah, she's Division I sports player. She's an awesome human being. So, like, I guess the inspiration, and there's more people, but they're the 3 that pop out the most. And the major part of it is because of the lifestyle, right? Like, they're just really good people, and it's a blessing to have them. So it's like, these are people that I look at like, okay, they're gonna be the ones that are gonna push me forward, right? Like, they're never gonna kick me when I'm down. They're never gonna, fake the funk. Like, they're gonna be the ones that are gonna be like, here, like, let me pull you forward, let me help you. Like, they'll celebrate more. Another thing too is that, a lot of people say I want people to support me when I'm down, but a lot of people don't talk about celebrating wins, right? Because I've noticed there's a lot of people in the world that want you to do good, but not better than them. And these are like 3 people that aren't that. Right? They will clap for me. They will celebrate me. They will they will be happy for me, even if it's not them. So it's good to be around people like that.
You should celebrate your wins, no matter what it is.
Oh yeah.
Even if you don't have them.
Yeah.
Every time you do something for yourself that makes sense, or just celebrate the fact that, today I had a bad day, but it turned out to be a good day.
Yeah. Still alive.
Celebrate every time. Celebrate every time.
One thing I just want y'all to know before we wrap up this inspirational thing, this guy is one of the most inspirational guys on the planet.
We haven't even got, I haven't got it for it, Bradford.
3 hours.
Oh yeah, we're pushing the limit.
Well, the only thing I want to say is that this man right here saves lives in real life.
Yeah, I'm going to tell her talk
literally
about
saves lives in real life. So I'll let her go ahead and continue to tell it.
I look in
Your
my
green looks way better than mine for some reason. My green looks Your green is green.
Rob,
I'm green is
blue. Rushed the conversation. Let me go ahead and ask you the question. What do you do for a living?
Yeah, I talk a lot. That's definitely
that has nothing to do with me.
I definitely talk a lot. So yeah, I'm a
Bradford.
Yeah, I'm a police sergeant.
Okay. As police sergeant, what do you?
Yeah, so I mean, I've worn many hats over my career. So I've been in law enforcement for 9 years. I wanted to get in law enforcement because of 9/11, the World Trade Center. Where I live in Hoboken, New Jersey, and where I work, I was in 5th grade when the towers were hit, and it's right across the river. So if anybody knows Jersey, I saw, the smoke and everything every single day. And what inspired me was the Hoboken police officers would take boats and go into the city and bring people back, and they'd be full of blood, full of like soot, full of like all this is nasty stuff, and they were just bringing people fearless. And in 5th grade, I'm like, man, these guys are peers. Like, I want to be just like them. And my mom was a social worker. So my mom specifically worked with women in prisons and trying to help them when women get out of prison to help them like readjust to the world and get jobs and stuff. So I knew I always wanted to do something in service. I say, no matter what it is in life, I'm going to serve people. Like I have to serve people. And I knew I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to do more of like the protection. So it drove me more towards law enforcement and social work. And so I became that was my whole life. I wanted to be in law enforcement. I had a rare disease at high school. I was bedridden for 18 months. I had something called Meniere's disease, where it would cause violent vertigo attacks, 90% hearing loss. I was hospitalized like 3 or 4 times a week and didn't know what it was. And so this one doctor, man, Dr. Cho from Hackensack, New Jersey, shout out Dr. Cho. He saved my life. I was literally in the hospital 3 days a week. After 18 years old, I had baseball scholarships to play. 2 days after I graduated high school, I got my first vertigo attack. And he found out what it was. I got surgery. They put a shunt inside my inner ear in 2011, and it stopped it. And I was, my career. Then I ended up playing 3 years of college baseball. Got some law enforcement in my career. And so far, in 9 years, I've been a police officer. I was a detective for 3 years. I was on a SWAT team, a regional SWAT team. So that's 15 cities that we protected. I was a hostage rescue specialist.
You was, or you still?
I was. So I didn't. So we did 5 years.
That's what he wanted to tell everybody is that you saved lives.
Yeah.
He was. He don't do that now.
Yeah. No, so so I'm still in law enforcement. The
don't
SWAT.
do that.
Yeah, the SWAT was 5 years.
Yeah.
You have to like re-up, like kind of do another 5 years.
Yeah.
And I knew that I couldn't give them the time, energy, and attention anymore because I wanted to do other things in my life. I just got off the SWAT team in 2022, so last year. And because I knew I wanted to like do social media, I wanted to start business, I wanted to like branch out of where I was. I started to feel, even though I love law enforcement. So I left the SWAT team, but I'm a police sergeant for my city. So what that is basically like I'm the street supervisor. So whatever, I'm the one that approves all the stuff and I make the decisions and I love it. Like I love being a supervisor. I supervise like 50 plus people and I love because it's interacting with people. I love my career. And, but the one thing about and I love SWAT, but some people don't realize that like in life, sometimes you have to pivot.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely. And that's why, think about it. Like we talked about all the things you have done.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this too. If you're still hanging out with us and it's over an hour, good for you. Yeah, thank you. And if you're gone, then that's good too, whatever. But if it's meant for you, it'll be for you. Yeah. So I don't want to be like cutting you off.
Yeah, no.
In regards to whatever that is, but yeah, and you know that. Yeah. That's probably why you were Brad and Trump been a phone for so long. Y'all talking about nothing. It's true.
It's true. But yeah, shout out to, it's funny because shout out to law enforcement officers all over the world. I still think it's an incredible profession.
And I have to say thank you for your services.
Oh, thank you.
Because the fact that if it wasn't for, honestly, I wish more cops could be like you.
Yeah. Yeah,
sensitive.
It's funny. It's funny, because I can't speak for the rest of the country, but the people that I work with, people think they always tell me, Rob, you're one of the best I've ever met. Mm-hmm. I look at that the people I work with, they're incredible. Mentorship. Mentorship is, let me tell you something, mentorship is the number one secret to life. Mm-hmm. Find people who are doing better than you, who you aspire to be and just ask them for help. Because I'm a really good, I'm not gonna let you my own home, but I'm a really good supervisor. I'm a really good police officer. So my career shows it, right? I have dozens of awards, life-saving awards. I have the second highest award any law enforcement officer can get. And, there was a woman drowning in the water, saved a woman in a burning building, all this kind of movie stuff that you think. All that only happened because of the people that supervised me and mentored me and helped me and my team. The people I supervise, they're rock stars. Mm-hmm. Right? They're probably some of the best people ever. Do with that too. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I hope so because they impacted me, and I'm not even a really good police officer and supervisor because of them. So I love looking at life as a team sport.
Right. When you saw the show, was it what you thought it was going to be?
When I watched it, so the production was fantastic. Yeah. They did their thing. Parts that I thought would be boring, they did their thing. I'm disappointed because I didn't get I had a lot of interviews. I had about 7 hours of those interviews that you see them just talking into the camera. I had the regular closed interview, and only 30 people got that. I was the voice of the trailer, right? So my voice to $4.56 million. People do a whole lot worse for a whole lot less.
Say it again.
Yeah.
People do a whole lot of work for a whole lot.
That's right. And so that's mine, right? Like, and for months they were calling me and they were like letting me know my stuff looks good, good. And then like a month before the show came out, they kind of told me that it just didn't fit the storyline. If they took all my interviews out, they took basically even the interview, the trailer piece they took out. They just put my voice. Like you can't see my face. And so it bothered me in the beginning. You know, it was actually really hard on me. I wasn't gonna watch the show. I'll be honest. I wasn't gonna watch it. And then
but that stuff that you learned and the stuff that you're growing on
that's right.
Help you
100%.
take a recourse.
Yep.
You evaluated it, took your time,
Yep.
had some coaching,
Yep.
and you tapped back on your
Oh yeah. And now I'm glad.
Yeah.
Now I'm glad I watched it. So I loved it. I just think that there's a lot of things also. So again, I'm not Netflix and I don't know what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But everyone that's watched it that I know loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. If they filmed it the way we lived it, you would love it 100 times more.
Absolutely.
Like
Add a couple, 2 more episodes.
Well, I promise you, like this show is amazing.
Yeah.
If you saw what we went through, you would love it so much more. You couldn't get enough.
To be honest, just listening to you guys' stories now,
Mm-hmm.
they just even if somebody was watching this and they just listened to some of the things you guys went through, some of the things they didn't see behind the scenes, whatever, when it comes to the relationships you had, that alone, be like, oh, that's pretty cool. I would have loved to saw that. You know,
should have showed the dorm life. We did a talent show.
Yeah.
We were singing.
Yeah.
Right now we're doing a kid and play dance. Kid and play. Watch this, man. We did your dance and we killed it. Like it was like house party out there, right? Because we only had each other, so we had to make
had to make it work.
the food. Man, listen. The reason why people like I'm gonna stick up for my girl Jada because people try to get on her about taking a burger. That's because at that point for 4 days we were basically not eating much. Right? There wasn't much food, and they were giving us enough to survive, obviously. But we were hungry.
I mean, they said in the first part of the first part on red light, green light.
Yeah.
When they said this is your first meal,
Oh yeah.
and then people were like, I was starving. They actually say,
Oh yeah.
they say it, and you know they let them say that.
And they showed the best meal.
Yeah.
That 1 egg and half a cup of rice was the best. Like, trust me. So,
Well,
yeah. So
is there anything you want? Any words of wisdom you want to give anybody?
yeah, I want to say like whatever this is obviously our reality TV show, but this is a lot deeper. Tronda Talks is about bettering your life and inspiring people to be the best version of themselves. So how does this relate, right? Well, I want to say no matter what you're going through in life, it doesn't have to be on reality TV. You don't have to. You can be anywhere in the darkest corners of this earth. If you are grateful, if you realize that you're not alone, like whatever you're struggling with, anxiety, depression, you have a cancer, you have a disease, you lose a loved one, you got divorced, whatever it is, you're not alone. You're not the only person going through it. And seek out help, right? Don't suffer in silence. Don't be in your room, thinking about doing the worst things to you because, people are suffering in the world with mental illness and people are suffering in the world with mental health. And I want you to say that your absence in life, like your absence, if you hurt yourself, is so much more painful for everyone else in the world than you could ever imagine. You need to be on this earth and you are meant to do amazing things. So I'm telling you from law enforcement perspective, where I've seen people take their lives, I've held people in my arms that have taken their lives and I've seen the impact that it's had to family. So I'm telling you, my best advice is live in the moment, be grateful, even if you're not in the best of situations, be where your feet are and get mentorship. Books, podcasts, people in real life, mentors in all areas of life, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, success, business, career, get mentors. Like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, I am where I am, and I think that the most successful people on earth and the happiest people on earth and the most fulfilled are the ones that ask for help and seek mentorship. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. It works.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. All right, we got to be signing up out of here.
Yeah.
And you have to die.
Oh yeah.
You have to die.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll enjoy this one. The other one I did not enjoy, but I'll enjoy
Get
this
out.
Thank you for having me, Tronda.
You're welcome. I'm closing you out, but you're finna die. Yeah. And then I'm gonna close you out.
Oh, okay.
So die. Very good.
It's a lot less messy, too.
Well, guys, thank you for watching another episode of Trying to Talk, Grow, Heal, Inspire with Rob. And if you want more of this kind of thing, subscribe, come back, come look at it. We got you. Bye-bye.